covering games, recovering kind of your mental state when you're in those games and making sure that you have the resilience to push through. Because Team Liquid were the blaze down, win the game fast, lose the game quickly as well.
Absolutely.
And so now they have the ability to kind of turn games around. If they can show that consistency, then that's really good.
I love that idea because playing from behind, usually you're not as confident in doing things. So to get the chance to make a call and see if it works from being behind always puts a little bit more confidence in your pocket to not hesitate the next time, because hesitation will get you killed. It makes you lose a game. As our bans begin, Phase 1 is completed for Team Liquid with Swain, Kindred, and Morgana. We'll probably see a Taliyah here on the side of Clutch Gaming as they finalize with Nocturne and Aatrox. Rakan or Zoe, yeah, they want the initiation. Ole says, I want to be able to get in, but also out.
Yeah, it seems like the Xayah Rakan has just been somebody who's been kind of on the and off the ban list for a while, just barely though. Some teams will ban him, some teams won't, some teams will first pick him, some teams won't. And so right here, Clutch Gaming though, Zoe's on the table. I would imagine it's something that they would want to pick up for Febiven, but he has kind of gone for things more like the Swain, which is banned away from him here. Trundle, good jungler for Moon to have. It's his most played in Academy, and he played it yesterday.
5 unique picks for Febiven in his last 5 games, so he may decide to switch it up or could go back to one of those. See that Trundle and Tahm Kench locked in, so not showing too much, but a nice base for a composition there from Clutch Gaming.
Seems like they're just going with comfort here, where this is Moon's most played, and this is also what was played yesterday by Vulcan, was the Tahm Kench. Wasn't really able to have too much effect on the game, but this is not a crush you kind of bottom lane here for Clutch Gaming.
Actually thought we were going to see that Kha'Zix for a second. Kane says yes.
There's a lot of there's a lot of Kha'Zix running around in solo queue. Even though like not much has changed about him lately, people have been picking him up again. Even after the nerfs to the ultimate where he would just stealth through every bush. But yep, definitely better counters out there, like the Graves to the Trundle. Makes a lot more sense.
I'm loving the Graves because that pick as well, it kind of brings out the aggression in every jungler. You almost have to. You got to get close. You want to hit all your shots. We see Dardoch doing it a lot lately, and Smithy's going to take that into his hands for this game. And chuckle from Febiven as they hover Piglet's Vein.
Yeah.
And lock in possible bot lane here. And it's going to be an Ezreal again for Piglet, 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is same 3 picks here for Clutch Gaming. Trundle, Ezreal, Tahm Kench. The other 2 that they had were Gnar and Syndra, and then they'd have the exact same composition from yesterday.
Which wouldn't do too bad against what they're looking at so far. Yeah. Syndra might be a little rough against the Rakan, but you have safety from Tahm Kench.
I do like Syndra against a lot of champions like the Rakan and even the Graves, because just the scatter of the weak is so oppressive, and blowing somebody up, like it's much better to play against these types of champions than it is to play against like a Braum or somebody who can block or kind of deter, deflect your ultimate. So I wouldn't say it's an awful situation to play those types of champions for sure.
You have the range, definitely. He scatters so much farther than his entrance.
Gotta watch out for
next?
A Zoe though. Zoe,
a second
GP I think is actually really good for solo. And the Corki, ooh, that's actually an older one for Febiven, but Corki got a buff to his E in terms of the damage early on especially. So I've seen some Corkis max E first. It's a little weird, but it does do a lot of damage and poke during the lane phase.
Gatling gun max.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, who knows, maybe Febiven goes bot and Piglet goes mid with Corki.
Maybe the strategy's completely thrown off now.
Yeah, what do we do? There's Galio and Ryze as they hit Pole Belter. He played Malzahar yesterday, so he still definitely has a champion pool to pick from. 11 seconds left for the final Phase 2 ban here from Liquid. They've targeted Febiven. Is it again? Maybe a Syndra and Orianna. Get those off of the map for him. It is going to be the Syndra.
Get the Syndra away. So the Ryze and the Galio bans kind of hinted at that a bit, because Galio can kind of suffer the blows that would come through from the Syndra. And the GP for solo, I think, is kind of the obvious pick here. Yeah. He's very, very proficient on this champion. Very good at kind of having those triple barrel combos, and he's very good at placing the ultimate. It's something that's underrated for Gangplank players, because a lot of their ultimates will be ineffective when people walk out of them. But solo has some of the best teamfighting ultimates that I've seen from Gangplank, Sion, and Gnar in particular, the 3 that I usually really like seeing from him, especially when I review the games. But the GP is the one for him that seems to be the most effective. But that means that it'll put impact on something that he can play against it. The Gnar kind of comes to mind. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, believe it or not, Pole Belter's first Orianna of the summer split.
I don't believe it.
No, well, Believe it.
But it's true.
He locks that in. I'm thinking about what Impact can put a little top die on the menu with.
Yeah, the Gnar is kind of the most obvious one.
Ooh.
The Mundo is the farm lane where you
why
kind
not?
of run him down. It's funny because we've seen this matchup in particular so many times.
Yeah, that's why I
and
was like, ooh.
it goes so many different ways. It's like, oh yeah, GP is a free lane versus the Mundo. And then we see the Mundo kill him at like level 5 or level 6. It's like, wait, he's pushing him out of lane. What's going on? And we'll see another GP just like bullying the Mundo, coming under turret.
Nice.
And Febiven's Azir, he actually played this pretty much a week ago, 2 weeks ago. 3, 2, and 3 on it versus Optic Gaming. And I just think of when he went back and he was playing this, when he first made it onto the scene with Fnatic, that was kind of the debut split for Febiven, where he was playing this champion to great effect. And remember, it was one of the champions that worked well against Orianna, because you outranged her with the Q and the W poke in lane.
And it seems to be something he's put practice on. It was banned second phase yesterday against Clutch Gaming from 100 Thieves, so they recognize this Azir as well from him. I mean, everybody should. Like you said, it's historical, but we haven't seen it too much lately, and that is going to be another pickup for him. We'll see how Clutch do as they make their way onto the Rift. 4 and 7, really needing these wins. But Team Liquid is still looking to fire for that first spot, securing a position up there with the top teams right now. They're 7 and 4 as they headed through the summer split.
Yep. And Clutch Gaming, they were 4 and 4. They're on a 3-game losing streak. We just said this about CLG just a moment ago in that last game where they have slid down to a 4-game losing streak. But Clutch Gaming are now tied for last place at the moment. Right? They lose this, they just get further and further behind the standings, and we only have 3 more weeks to go. So only 6 games left after this one.
As we head on to the Rift for our third game of the day, Team Liquid versus Clutch Gaming. Pobelter in the mid lane sits at 999 kills in the North American LCS. One more kill and it will be 1,000. That's how that works, right?
Yep.
All right.
Now the regular season kills for his career in the NALCS. Pobelter 1 away from that big 1K.
It's so crazy. Absolutely crazy to think about. He's played so many different champions along the way as well, having easily some of the most unique plays in even the first 10, 11 games of a split, still going unique from what we've seen a few years ago.
Yeah, like you said, this is first time on the Orianna here, this split, so kind of just showing, hey, when the situation calls for it, he's able to play the champion. The Orianna will help protect Double Lift. It'll also help them attack. And speaking of attacking, press the attack for Xmithie. It's been that shift for the Graves players where you get 3 really quick attacks off. It's the auto into the E, or it's the auto, and then you have the other one on top of it. Then you can just burst them with your Q and collateral damage. Like, you're able to get the quick draw off for the 3 ammo shots, and it's very, very effective at having more burst.
Minions has spawned.
That just cut through everything. That laugh was much louder than everything else in the game. What?
Pobelter and Febiven staying toe-to-toe in mid as a little bit of lineup scrimmage being broken on the bot side by Team Liquid. And we'll keep a track on Pobelter getting that 1,000th kill. It'd be interesting if they could keep it from him all game.
I mean, it happened in the last one where he only got 1 kill in that game. He's like, Pobelter's 2 away from having 1,000.
Let me get it. We've seen that happen on the fountain.
Impact stole like the last 4 kills with a parlay. I remember it.
Top troll.
Now, Xmithie gonna go clear out these Raptors, make his way towards the bottom Scuttle Crab, and Moon is gonna go do a red buff to immediately to the other side of the jungle. So he's not gonna do 3 Raptors and then rotate. So he's going, I would believe this would be straight towards the blue buff into the Scuttle Crab, which means that the Graves will be on the Scuttle Crab for a while here.
Yeah.
And he'll show up a little bit
there's the vision.
late. We're gonna see him.
Sweeper denied early. He says, yeah, this could be a problem. He's actually deciding what to do. Heads back and forth for a second. And with the sweep, actually, Moon as well. He's going to head to do his Wolves quick. Nothing happening on that Scuttle. Xmithie still wants it. Bot lane's being pushed. Spit out. Double lift going low. Vulcan taking turret shots. One last hit. The minions are going to take him down. Ole with first blood.
Vulcan, bro. He's just too aggressive there. He doesn't flash away or anything like that. He thinks he's out of range already. He spat Double Lift out, but still, they get the first blood onto Olay in this lane that they were being aggressive. They hit level 2 first. They tried to push it too hard.
Nice Quill. Gets a little bit of heal there. His Ignite definitely kept the pressure on him and re-aggroed the turret, which he probably wasn't expecting right away. Xmithie, Scuttle close.
I think he's getting both
Smites
of them,
there for Moon.
I was actually a second away from being up.
Yeah.
It was very, very close.
Yep.
But Xmithie, I think, got both Scuttle Crabs here. So he went red, Raptor, Scuttle, Scuttle. Right here.
Predator replay for your bot lane hit.
Spits him out. Doesn't flash there. Takes another shot. Boop. Uah. Can't give him a tongue for the road either.
No help there.
Nope.
Barrels up in front of the turret so you can make sure Impact has no push-up power. And Xmithie is just tearing around the map right now, making sure he's avoiding Moon, finding every camp that has spawned. A quick in and a save for Vulcan onto Piglet, as they are losing the health trades in the bot lane.
Yeah, they're losing them pretty hard too, and especially since this is a Doran shield lane for the Ezreal. Just trying to be defensive until he gets something like the tier, but it looks like they're on just different pages. They got the level 2 first, but actually Vulcan, he still has his flash available.
Ooh, nice dodge by Olay. I like the coin pickup by him as well, keeping himself safe, but picking up mana, picking up gold. He doesn't have to get in for relics and put himself in a weird spot to just take autos and hits from Piglet. Vulcan is still on the relic, stay healthy, get that gold for himself. Actually, they're gonna hold the lane knowing that TP would come back.
Yep, but watch this. Both junglers are right on the sides here. Vulcan positioned like he has the jungler there. Moon's gonna get there first.
Every time he misses, it puts a big relief on the pressure that they're feeling. Doublelift flashes down. He will fall, and Xmithie just short. No red buff to follow as well. They try to slalom through the minions, slowed down by the smoke. But it's not going to be a follow-up. Olay too low on mana as they protect the lane.
Yep, and there's the TP back from Doublelift. So Piglet very low on HP here. It would be a lane that Doublelift will actually try to do some pushing duty on, try to clear out these caster minions. Yep, Piglet, they are going to spot Xmithie here, and it'll probably be a base return and walk back here for Piglet and Vulcan. The TP was already used.
Yep. Dark Steel and Stopwatch is still ticking up right now as we see this bot lane hit once again. Vulcan moves up quite aggressively for these as well, so there's definitely a point for TL to make a play.
Yeah, and because Vulcan went really aggressive earlier in the game, he got the flash out from Doublelift. So
true.
He can't flash over the pillar there, and that's what gets him and keeps him there. And Solo's actually been having a great time in this top lane. He got a lot of money bags early on. He's actually sitting on a lot of gold from the left though. And I looked up, it was like 2 minutes in, he already had 2 gold bags. So he's ready to go. Look at that.
Oh, he cashed in, too.
He's already like 400, 500 gold up.
That's crazy. Come back with a little bit of damage. Sheen is completed. He'll teleport back with just a refresh on everything.
Impact bought 3 ruby crystals there for a second. It's like, okay, what's he buying? Got boots now. And 2 ruby crystals. But the Sheen, there's a pretty early Sheen buy there for not having a kill. Oh, there's the shove back.
Pobelter, pretty hurt on this one, but he has safety to get away as the minions are helping him.
But they still get the flash. That means a repeat gank is very doable here. And so I like that. I like seeing Clutch Gaming being very proactive here, getting flashes out, making sure that they're having something happen on the map, because Clutch Gaming have been pretty bad at waiting for the later parts of the game. They've been almost like 100 Thieves light in a sense, where they try to out-macro you or kind of wait for the game to happen and then play reactionary. And that's why we find them at 4 and 7 right now, because they haven't been taking control of their games. But Team Liquid kind of been the opposite for them. Sometimes they try to take control of their games too aggressively. Right here, though, Xmithie ganking bottom, Piglet.
Such a great position for the Graves and the line.
Pobelter's coming too.
Bouncing off the wall is going to do quite a bit of damage if it extends. Pobelter is there. Piglet down to 400 as he's devoured. Gray health is on. For Vulcan in here would be the Shockwave. 2-man coming in. Pobelter throws in, calls it, and just whiffs on the side as Piglet gets the flash out for safety. The Roam coming up with nothing, and it could have been so big.
Yeah, still gets the flash though. Like,
True,
I like to count ganks
yes,
where a
not
flash
nothing.
is
You're
blown
right. You're right.
for no flash on your side. I kind of consider that a win.
That is true.
So that means that when Olay hits 6, like, you're a prime target for Piglet, but he does have the Tahm Kench, he does have Vulcan who can eat him up and kind of give him a flash. So it may not be as rewarding as if you had gotten something like the Tahm Kench's flash.
Yeah.
But it's still getting a flash there for pretty low, I would say low sacrifice, low investment. Yeah, because the ultimate is still almost halfway up again. So Pobelter will have that, but he does have to watch himself here because Svebevin has flash. Svebevin can make a play on him and just shove him back in a few seconds here. And if they're trying to play off Febiven in that low cooldown of the ultimate and play off that, then I think that's exactly the play they should be making here in a few seconds. Hand off the blue, go back mid, try to go through your control boards, and then make a play on Pobelter and go from there. Maybe even open up bottom lane afterwards. But, oh, hey, is the matchup swung?
What are you talking about?
Minions, help!
Matchup changes?
Help!
Oh, they just got stopwatches up. Impact decides actually to not go in. That 8-minute mark just hit and would have been a pretty slick play if he decided to go hard with his ult going on the stopwatch.
Yeah. Remember, Solo doesn't have his ultimate from, he used it on the bottom side of the map. So
let's see where he is actually at on his Serpent Coin. So he does have a chance to actually level up his Cannon Barrage. We'll keep an eye on what he chooses to level it up with.
Really? He already has that? Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, he has quite a bit more too, which is insane.
I actually don't believe it.
Spectator?
Yeah, no, it has a 6 and a 3, and it usually only shows you 2 of the digits.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, but at 8.5 minutes, usually you do not see that he would be able to get something for himself.
Yeah, he had 630. Wow, okay.
So Blue's going to be handed off to Pobelter. Smithy, you can see, is already sporting one himself. Team Liquid controlling the game slightly for themselves in that buff sense. Just 1-to-1 in kills, though, as they've only attempted each other's damage just a little bit. Pushing up towards mid, as we were saying, Pobelter staying safe, so he'll wait for the turret to be able to farm, and Piglet gets delivered on for a few hundred damage as Ole and Doublelift are just playing with their food right now.
Normally when we say delivered on, it's like, oh yeah, he gave him that damage, but he actually was delivered to that damage from Vulcan. He's like, here you go, right in the line of fire, delivery. Plops him right down in front of him. And we checked it right now, Solo actually, he doesn't have 630.
Farm, there's the entrance, and there's Piglet going down to Doublelift as we get a fight on all fronts.
Yeah, because Vulcan went to mid lane to help get that counter kill, leaves Piglet wide open bottom, and he overstays, but it's so hard to actually say he overstays. Well, yeah, he's a screen away. The Rakan flash W entrance there from Ole catches him because he has no flash from the earlier gank from Pobelter.
But then Zyrene, I say, expect the flash play from... No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you should expect a flash play from Rakan when he has it.
Absolutely.
But Solo should be expecting this too. He's about to get dove here.
Not Impact. A lot you can do about it, though, or probably this one. Remember that Zhonya's is there for Impact, and just one last shot. He actually tethers the turret perfectly on that 100 HP bar. Bot lane is returning, so you won't get any pressure from Doublelift.
Yeah, that was a
Piglet's... looks like they'll stop on this top side.
That was Piglet's teleport as well, just kind of faking them out, saying, well, yeah, he'll actually come up here. This is going to give some extra breathing room over. Solo using oranges just to have a little bit extra HP. And there's the back. So yeah, this is what I was talking about, where you go for the flashless person, knock Pobelter back. Smithy's expecting it. Both junglers are playing by their control boards, but then Vulcan comes through. They have the ultimate from the GP, and then Febiven, the clutch heal there to save himself from the Smithy burst damage. But then I like this where Doublelift was shoving the wave. Ole was looking to match the roam, and then pivoted and came through the tri-brush there to come pick up Piglet himself. Yeah, that's one where it looks like Ole is going to go match Vulcan's roam and go mid, but he actually comes up through the tri-brush and is on the side of you. So by the time that Piglet could react to it, where he thought it was a 1v1 and the supports were roaming, it was too late for him.
Now down about 40 CS to Doublelift in that lane with the amount of pressure they continue to put on the Ezreal and Tahm Kench. And there's a little bit more. Smithy obviously there for a strength in the jungle, as now Team Liquid can start to rotate a little bit more between mid and bot. We're going to have Cloud Drake again coming up. They may be able to handle that. There was a ping last time we saw Smithy top from Moon. He said, I want help with this Rift Herald, and that's what Clutch Gaming is going to focus on.
Yep, haven't been playing to that side.
Ooh.
No, actually.
Maybe not. Haven't been pulled Smithy right up that way.
Pulled him up that way, and now that they have that turret down, this might be TL actually going for the Rift Herald. They can have all 5 people here.
Ouch.
Now, Lei's just going for the wards. He gets the deep wards without getting caught or anything.
So they got time with the bottom push.
And he gets the control ward, too, because they don't have any control of their jungle right now. Clutch Gaming, I mean, they're playing for scaling right now. They have a GP and an Azir. They're playing for the later parts of the game.
Close. But no cigar.
I mean, Piglet has done that before.
Absolutely. You remember the Piglet Corky Baron steals, Dragon steals. I think Wild Turtle's the other guy that has a good number of those. Bot, yeah, Apollo at the end of last season was getting crazy with it too. A ping from Piglet while they were doing that Rift Herald was on the bottom.
All aboard.
He said, I'm going all the way down. And all aboard the Abyssal train as Impact gets a quick licking, but keeps on ticking, and it does not look like they'll get too much damage on this turret as the rest, I think, of TL's coming down. Pobelter says he's going to stay mid, but they still back off with the pressure.
And I could hear the cannon barrage in the distance. Solo had ultied the top lane wave to kind of keep the pressure off of him because they were going to lose this turret. So TL are actually making really good proactive moves here. And we saw right there where Clutch Gaming tried to get that bottom turret by actually going after the Mundo, but in fact able to ulti, run away, and that kind of just stunts it, where now they aren't even matching there, and their top lane turret took a lot of damage, especially in comparison to how much the bottom took.
Blue transfer. Nice guy, Moon, making a wave for the team. He's 2-0-0 on this Trundle right now, so hopefully they can start spreading the kills. Chip Febvin towards that top lane Solo, who's doing pretty decent for himself, but it never hurts to have your tank nice and big. Looking towards mid lane, a few items finished for Febvin as he comes back out. All the summoners are up there in the mid lane, so as time goes by, we have a minute on that Drake. We might see a big fight for him.
Oh, replaced. And the,
feels bad, man.
New control ward placed down. I mean, at least it's clean. I think it's more TL are going to play for this top turret. They have the vision that you just saw Ole go through the jungle to kind of solidify. And Clutch Gaming have to either wrestle this vision back or find a different place on the map to kind of play towards. And it's just going to be wave clear duty trying to keep this turret alive as long as possible. Because they scale, once again, they have a tier ADC, a tier marksman with Piglet on that Ezreal. And then they have the Azir and the Gangplank. Like, they do really well when they have gold. They just need to get to that point. And TL need to say, we're not letting you get to that point in the game. We're going to use Graves and pressure you, and we're going to use Xayah Rakan and have really long-range engages. And then have the Orianna ball on top of it, too.
Clutch has a lot of vision of what's going down towards the top side. Cannon Barrage is just about to be up if they want to activate, but that's a very big if. They're going to have to find a perfect fight. Frozen Domain goes down to kind of shove Pobelter off his rotation towards the mid lane. A pinch from Impact. Let's see how far they take this one. Good vision from Team Liquid on the bottom side of the map as they've gained control. Just waiting to take control now of that next fight.
There's a lot of gold in Doubleup's pockets right now. I just checked. He's 1,600 gold up. He has an incredibly large gold advantage for himself. He's not even running something like Kleptomancy. He's 50 CS up over Piglet at 16 minutes. So yeah, there's a lot of gold on this Xayah, and when you're at this point in the game as Team Liquid, you want to just keep getting turrets, knock them down. You don't want to have the game stall out against a competition that wants to scale. You want to knock down turrets, potentially even go for 1 or 2 turrets here off this mid push, because Piglet's pushing top, and then you have your Mundo collapse. So this will rush through. They'll get this turret.
Protect the eye, take it down ASAP. They have one vision ward on the right, one on the left, but it's not seeing past Raptors, so they have to back off here without that shoulder vision. And Solo's going to be Impact on the bot side.
He's going to get a second charge off, too. Couldn't really reach the eyeball there.
Wow.
Yeah, when the Azir has a soldier, he can't actually attack from his staff or anything like that. And zap him in the eyeball. Smithy, meanwhile, solos the Drake, and that's 2 Cloud Drakes here for Team Liquid. Team Liquid off to a fantastic start, 3,000 gold up in 17 minutes, and it's spread across pretty much the bottom lane, and then they have Xfinity doing well in the jungle, too.
Kind of said we'd look at that bot lane throughout the game. Doublelift and Ole playing in really just in sync today. Sometimes there's a bit of back and forth. They're always behind each other in the calls, but today really on point with hitting every engagement they need, Xmithy or not, in that lane. Definitely giving Piglet and Vulcan a hard time, and being a tier stacking Ezreal behind already means they have to patiently build up. Nice dodge by Ole as they continue to suffocate the vision of Clutch Gaming on their own side of the map.
Ole has actually been incredibly annoying this game, because if you're playing against a Rakan that is testing his limits and constantly going for these wards and clearing them out, it really does make it so if you're trying to go after the Xayah, she's just going to disengage. And if you try to go on him, he's got a free-targeted dash with his W. So catching him is very difficult. That's why he runs in with kind of no cares in the world and goes after Vision over and over again. And places Vision too, because if he's caught, he can just get out. So Ole's playing with fire, but it's not even that hot of a fire.
Lukewarm.
Yeah.
It can turn up.
But he's getting so much done for his team. It's hard to appreciate that when support is doing that. but it's actually very effective, and it puts the other team, it takes a lot of time away from when they can recover, or how quickly they can recover and start playing that side of the map again.
Bit of a power spike here. Those Trinity Forces are finished for the side of Clutch Gaming. If they can tag on some of this damage, a lot of their initiation takes a bit, alerts TL, and they're able to walk out of it at this point. 2 ultimates used there in Abyssal Voyage and True Shot Barrage. Ooh, Solo waiting for Mission Impossible here in a 3v1. He decides that might be a bit too dangerous. He's really going to get pinched here if they actually get impact up. Moon's there to help as the rest of Clutch and the Cavalry arrive.
Blue buff, I think it's just going to have to go over to Moon, and it can't really go over to Febiven, who really wants it, because Febiven's actually kind of the shining light here alongside Moon in this game for Clutch Gaming. I mean, Solo is also doing well in the top lane. He has been for quite a while here, and he also has his Kleptomancy. It's Piglet who's very far behind, and Vulcan as well off that lane phase. And they're down 3 turrets to 0 too, so Clutch Gaming, they're going to have to hold on, and it's almost the storm you have to weather. Like, when you pick a scaling composition, you say, we're seeding these turrets, it's just hold on to them as long as possible with losing the minimum, and then they rubber band back into the game. At that point comes when they hit 3 items. So once you have 3 items on the Gangplank, once you have 3 items on the Azir, that's when we'll start seeing Clutch Gaming do a little bit better in these fights. But it's a long ways away, really. So that's the Clutch Gaming style. And TL are saying we don't want to have it be a long ways away. Nexus is exploding in the next few minutes.
Well, that's the kind of thing. It's why I like Orianna in the composition, but it's on TL. But Azir does the same thing. If you can control soldiers in a fight and have a lot up, it's as impactful as a shockwave. You continue to shred him. You dance around the opponent, and Azir is an impact mid laner, and you can absolutely swing a game on its head. That's what they're looking for Febiven to do here. Those summoners are still up, as we said, all around the map now, as things are getting a little tense around this Baron pit.
You know what's funny is I've been watching. Oh, hold on, Coldwelter, on out here.
Could be losing one of those impact players in the Orianna. And
whoa,
Teleport coming through actually hits 2. Vulcan's going to be forced to use Grey Health here, but he gets in. Piglet first. Quickly Arcane shifts himself to safety as Ole's looking for the entrance. Who's he going to be able to get? Double hit up with the charm as he goes for Febiven and Moon. They're forced to flash to safety, and 1-2 go down. Moon's going to follow next as they shut the light out of the fight. Solo runs by himself to safety as Team Liquid with a huge engage come up big.
Clutch Gaming say, all right, Pobelter's out of position. We don't need to wait for scaling. We can go in, and absolutely turned around perfectly there by Team Liquid. They're able to get 4 for 0. That's going to be the Baron, and that's going to be cracking the game wide open for them.
6-2 now, and 22 minutes will be on the clock as they drop the Baron. Mid lane could be cleaned up, top ready to be pushed. What a fight from Team Liquid here as they take full control of the game.
Full control of the game for sure, man. Like, up 8,000 gold at this moment. They just slingshot it in. And like I was saying just a moment ago, Clutch Gaming needs to kind of lose the minimum while seeding objectives. Here, they go for a proactive play. Vulcan goes in with Piglet. They see Piglet on the ward, goes away, goes into the belly. They can't quite catch him with Olay, but then the shockwave from Pobelter to throw it off, and the teleport on that last minion that was up in front from Impact means that they're completely sectioned off. But watching Smithy's flank here too, it's just so well done where he walks up onto Piglet, puts the pressure on him, and then it means everybody has to pay attention to this person on the right, and then Doublelift goes through with an ultimate, a flash to follow, and then just the tear through of the feathers.
So much time for him too to cycle back in with the team. What a way to distract Clutch Gaming.
I love Doublelift's build this game, by the way, because he went pickaxe, and then he went, holy crap, I'm fed. And he bought Rapid Fire Cannon. Then he went for Infinity Edge. Like, the pickaxe is supposed to go into Storm Razor.
Yeah, he thought it would.
But he went, nope.
Because he had the BF sword too. He was almost in the path already.
But he went full Rapid Fire Cannon after that. Then he's like, okay, well, let's just go Infinity Edge. And now I don't even know what he's getting now, right? Like, maybe
he's good.
Get myself, you know.
Razor's Edge?
Yeah. Essence Reaver, maybe he'll, you know, it could be a Death's Dance. He's feeling himself right now. So we'll see, though.
You gotta be feeling it to dance, man. You gotta be feeling it.
That's true, but he can pretty much buy whatever he wants right now because he's 2 items up, 2.5 items up over Piglet, who just completed his Muramana.
Oh, it feels bad, man, when you put all your soldiers up and this still doesn't really deter the enemy team from coming in. Not really to the Baron minions, not at all with their magic resistance. And now The second inhibitor turret goes down, I should say one, as they start on the inhibitor now. That bottom turret is pretty hit up though if TL wants to stay. No push from the top side, and they have a slight weight bottom, but they may be overstaying here. They have 1.5 minutes left, so they have a little time to work with.
Yep, and it looks like double tier here for Piglet. He's saying it's the long haul. We need to put our shells on, turtle up for a bit, and he's saying we're playing for 45 minutes.
Hit onto Moon. That cannon minion in the back doing a hell of a lot of damage to the turret at this point as Impact looking for some cleavers. He'll be one to hit the final shots on the turret. And now Team Liquid moves in, slowly encroaching in onto Clutch Gaming, and they're trying to find that entrance into the fight. They just don't have an initiation at this point.
Yep. Mostly playing disengage. Like that's the Clutch Gaming. That's the Clutch Gaming composition: is disengage, keep them at an arm distance, try to scale up. But then for TL, it's go go go. Orianna plus Rakan, great combination. Question is though, Riv.
Question me.
For me, it's not will TL end this game. It's will Pobelter get his 1,000th kill. Because that last fight, he started off, Shockwave, 2 people. Oh, they get away from him. And then everybody else, he gets all these assists. Doesn't get the last hit. Will he get the 1,000th kill this game?
Oh man, it's gonna be close at this point. Could just be an ender. And the team, it's not something the team thinks about as you go through a game. You're getting the kills. Maybe when you're on the fountain and you're shouting and having fun. But at this point, you rack them up as they come. Nick Smithy's looking to pick up something here as he heads into the jungle. Pretty brazen. Says, this is mine. Thank you very much. Didn't you see our zip code? It looks like Pobelter will be there to pick that up. And the vision, even if it's being placed by Clutch Gaming, is quickly being snuffed out and controlled by Team Liquid. Third Cloud Drake of the game. Liquid has the zoomies.
The case of the zoomies here on the Rift for Team Liquid, but I love it. This is going to get them around the map faster. This is going to allow them to rotate through their 3 lanes, and I think it's better right now than even having like a Mountain Drake, right? Mountain Drake, got barely any structures left to hit. Woo! Go ahead, have that rotation around, and it means that when you reset, you get back into the center of the map and back on their side of the map faster. So I actually think Cloud Drake is probably one of the best, if not the best or second best, to have at this point in the game when you're in this state.
Oh, the go button is also in Ole's inventory with the Shurelya's Reverie. They just want to get into more fights. Yeah, it was a death dance if you hadn't set it already for double lift, as he is looking to dance a little bit more against Clutch Gaming here. Top inhibitor to get some attention now. Incoming from Ole, the hit comes in. There is the 1,000th career kill for Pobelter as they lock down the base of Clutch Gaming, looking for the Nexus turrets and the possible win.
And it was on Piglet as well. The person who had come through and had a really great stats against double lift. They say, shut that down. The past is in the past. And TL are here to clean this game up in 27 minutes.
TL, 27 minutes on the clock, 7-2, the 1,000th kill for Pobelter, and they also take a little bit of that first place position in the NALCS.
Moving to 8-4 and having more separation in the standings. This now puts 4 games between them and Clutch, and there's only 6 left to play.
Great way to finish it for the team. The Shockwave as well, the pull went in for himself. Pobelter on the front of the line with 1,000 career kills. And the rest of Liquid as well, from lane to lane, playing very strong, really not allowing Clutch a moment in this game.
Yeah, and as soon as they got an advantage, they started pressuring it. I love watching Team Liquid's proactive game when they have a draft that allows them to play and pressure. And right there, Clutch Gaming had it drafted to seed their lanes in scale, but they did it all across the map. You kind of have to have somebody who's a pivot or somebody who is the person who carries you through the earlier mid-game, whether it's a laner who's winning or a counter matchup or anything like that. And this one, it seemed like they were just able to use the jungle pressure from Graves to get rid of the matchup in mid, where Febiven was winning that one with the flash and the plays onto Pobelter. But I absolutely love the way they played with pressure. That's only a 27-minute game.
Absolutely, a very fast game, and we're going to get right down to the winners on that one. For more on the victory, let's hand it over to an interview with the most recent player to hit 1,000 kills.
Thanks, guys. Pobelter, congratulations on the victory and hitting 1,000 kills. You are the 5th player to do so. Any of them the most memorable for you?
I guess my most memorable kills actually happened like a long time ago. I remember there was this one play, it was Bjergsen's first season in LCS actually, and I was playing Fizz against his LeBlanc and I juked his W, and everyone thought it was just like the coolest thing ever, but actually it was like a really boosted play. But that was one of the most memorable ones for me because that was the one like people would always talk about. Besides that, it wasn't like a flashy kill or anything, but another really big moment that I remember was when I was on Immortals. We were like smashing Team Impulse in like a 20-minute stomp, and then I TP top as Lulu, and me and Huni just 2v4'd them. So those are probably the most memorable moments for me.
And Team Liquid is sitting at first right now, and we're about more than halfway through the split. So what's going to be the biggest obstacle for the team to hold on to that first place spot?
I think we're tied right now, right, with FlyQuest?
There's going to be a lot of ties.
Yeah, LCS is really neck and neck right now. I was surprised because everyone was saying like C9 is 9th place, oh my god. But they were only 2 wins behind like us who were first place. So it's still a really close tie between everyone. And I think what's really important for us is to just, I think we've been on like a hot streak recently. We were looking really shaky and just falling apart in a lot of games. But yesterday we showed even if we fall behind in the most miserable fashion, we can come back. So if we can just keep that up, even in games that we fall behind early, I think we can come back.
So then with everyone tied, who do you think are the maybe top 3 teams to look out for besides yourself?
Top 3 besides us, so like 4 teams total, it's like half the league, but...
All right, 2, come on. Who are you scared of?
You know, I think that the teams that were a bit weaker last split, like Optic and GGS, are actually really strong this split. So, yeah, I think those 2 guys.
Well, Pope, thank you and congratulations again. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. Congratulations to Pobelter on his 1,000th kill coming through at the very end of that game. And welcome to JJ here on the Analyst Desk to help us break it down, both this game itself and some larger points about the league that we'll get into. Before we do that, once again, recognizing Pobelter for 1,000 regular season kills. Quite a benchmark to be hit.
He's been in the league for a really long time, and he's still relatively young, which is pretty surprising. And there's no one else really close for a while. Jensen, another mid laner.
Hurdle, your teammate up there at the top of the table, man.
Yeah, actually, he's been playing forever. Like, every time I talk to him about old league stuff, he's like, yeah, dude, I've been playing since I was like, I dropped out of high school. I'm like 16 when I was on TSM, so it's not a surprise to me to see him up there.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting when we have leaderboards like this because we look at the iterations the LCS has gone through. Wild Turtle started when there were quadruple round robin best of ones with teams. So,
Super weak.
So we were playing 28 games a split, and then we did best of 3 for like 3 splits. So these guys had these splits where they were playing 45 games.
Right.
And now we're playing 18. So some of those guys that are at the top that have been around
It's going to be hard to ever catch them.
Oh, man. Yeah. If this format sticks for the next 4 or 5 years, like, I don't know if anyone's catching Wild Turtle and Double to the top of that standing.
Without a doubt, especially since they're still going strong here in the North American LCS. But turning our attention towards this game more specifically, I want to take a look at the team compositions because we ought to continue this conversation around Clutch Gaming and the 3 subs that they have brought in or brought into the starting roster. Moon, Piglet, Vulcan drafted the same 3 champions that they were on in yesterday's
Consistency.
Consistent. Well, yeah, if there's one thing you can't take away from them, it's consistency. But what is our opinion of the fact that they're drafted the same exact 3 champions as they were yesterday, in a sense, given no more tools to showcase that they deserve to be on the starting roster?
Well, I think that Piglet and Vulcan, as long as I've known them as a bot duo, have been one of the strongest 2v2 laners that I've ever had to play against, even in Academy and in LCS as well. So it's not a surprise to me to see them drafting Ezreal Tahm Kench, which is a really solid bot lane, can win lane, and then they're really solid mid game as well, and they can try to kind of team fight once Ezreal hits that 2-item power spike and bring TK ult places.
So all signs then point to good in terms of champion select, given the, the ability of these players.
Yeah.
But then you dive into the game itself, and some unfortunate stuff happens here early, especially for Vulcan here on the stage.
Yeah, and this is a good idea to try and get aggressive here, but Vulcan greens out 1 extra auto attack, and so he gets 1 extra turret hit on him, and that leads to his death. Really unfortunate, too, because historically, Doublelift gets destroyed by Piglet.
Yeah, we had heard before the show that historically his gold difference at 15, that minus 378 gold to 15, was worse than against any other player he had ever played against for 3 games or more. But he was absolutely able to turn that around today. It started with that, and then they were just selling out to get some kills later. Like the double flash behind the turret was a super clean dive onto Piglet, but stuff like that just kept Piglet out of the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. From there, a 4-0 for Team Liquid up near the top side of the map will net them the Baron. It was kind of a slow bleed up until this point, and not a very high kill game, to say the least. And so hard to analyze too much aside from this one big fight.
JJ, what does that Tom Kenshall make you think of?
North America, in a nutshell.
Misplays on the Tom Kenshall, and this was actually another weird situation because we were thinking like, okay, this feels like a normal Team Liquid game where they win bot lane and they start getting a bit of a lead, but you looked at Clutch Gaming's composition and you think, okay, if they get 2 to 3 item power spikes on Gangplank and Azir and Ezreal, they can start turning it around. So that was a real head scratcher of a play, forcing at 21 minutes right as Baron spawned, which is exactly when Team Liquid wants to try and pounce before Clutch Gaming is ready.
By all accounts, Clutch could have waited longer, could have just kept their foot on the brakes and tried to outscale until later in the game. But this is one of those rare occasions, funnily enough, in the summer split where the higher-seeded team comes away with a victory over the lower-seeded team in this game. And so that's what I want to dive into here, kind of the topsy-turvy.
We're actually playing a better meta than the top, and they started beating them out, and that cost this like topsy-turvy standings where everyone's super close, and the teams that are supposed to be worse are beating the teams that are better, and the teams that are better are just like playing incorrect meta, or not incorrect, but
not even playing the right game of League of Legends.
Exactly, and that just caused a lot of the wins that we see now. I think now things are evening out a lot more as AD carries come back into the meta, and you'll see teams like 100 Thieves, Liquid, Echo Fox like still be up there, but for a while there, I think that's might be what caused that disparity.
Yeah, and that's interesting. Do you expect then Team Liquid and Echo Fox to just shoot ahead and even FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, Optic to fall back down? Or do you feel like you've made or learned different things that are going to allow you to stay competitive if everyone goes back to what Spring Split meta was?
To be honest, I don't know what's going to go on anymore, mostly because a lot of the bottom tier teams are still beating the top tier teams, even now that the meta is normalizing a little bit. So I think we're still going to, obviously the standings aren't going to change super rapidly, and I think the disparity between the wins and the losses and the standings are actually opening up more now that the meta is back to normal, but I'm not sure if it's going to keep going this way.
Mark, how do you reconcile with all this?
I mean, it makes sense to me. There was a period of time where, you know, JJ came by for the collegiate shoot, you know, way months before anything had even appeared, and I talked with him extensively about what we were going to see, and this was way before even LPL started their games, and he was telling me all about the stuff we were expecting to see, and then literally all of that was shown like day 1, day 2 in LPL and LCK, and I was like, well, damn, FlyQuest clearly has a good read on the meta, and if they're busting that out versus the teams that they're scrimming, and then the top teams aren't playing them because, hey, they weren't as good last split or whatever it is, you probably do come up with these 2 different reads on the meta, and like he's saying, they clearly were the ones who were more adapted to the meta.
I mean, Team Liquid here, now 3-game win streak and a 2-0 weekend here to follow 100 Thieves 2-0 weekend. So to some degree, it kind of points to those top tier teams from Spring Split are kind of maybe building some momentum and some steam. But then I guess my question to you, JJ, is for yourself, maybe either personally or for your squad, like how do you expect to keep pace with them? Like, do you know, like if the meta does go back to spring, where or how do you guys make sure that you don't then fall back down the standings?
Well, for our team personally, we have, other than myself, we have 4 veterans in Flame, Santorin, Keen, and Wild Turtle, and they know that the meta is kind of cyclical in the sense that every summer it returns to like tank top, tankish jungler, mage mid, AD carry bot, and all that. So I think that's where the meta is heading, and as long as we start playing up to that and start competing in terms of like macro and micro with the top teams, then we'll also be able to clutch it out for
Mark,
playoffs.
you were already hinting at like the Orianna.
Get ready, baby. Orianna is
we saw the Rise band here. The Azir comes out. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, JJ, for joining us here on the desk today. Up next, Smoothie and Echo Fox aim to take down his old squad, Cloud9.